Good morning and welcome to the Gratitude Challenge. Well, just lighting this sage is a reminder to me of keeping my energy field clean and helps me stay centered. I'm Renee, I'm the Practical Shaman for those of you who don't know me. Well, I think I better put my smoky thing out before I start the house on fire, which I have burned things over the year with my fires, so it wouldn't be too far of a surprise. Even as a kid, I burnt down the trash can once, much to my mother's surprise. But today, what I want to talk about is the things that keep us from a thankful heart. And the more and more you have these healing tools, the more and more you can stay in that gratitude. And the more and more you catch yourself when you slip, because we're human and we all slip. This is a journey. And decided I was going to pull a wind card from the Winds of Spirit bag. And before I even pulled the card, I knew what the wind was that wanted to come help with this gratitude meditation. And it was notice, the wind from the south, the Greek wind of the south, which are the cardinal points on the wind map. And these cardinal points they hold up the sky, and that means they hold up the sky of the themes of your own life. And in the east is new beginnings, in the south has to do with the emotions, in the west is physical endings and harvest, and the north is the spiritual. Also in the east and the new beginnings is the mind and our thinking. However, I had to look at what was keeping me from my own thankful heart today. And so as I reached into the wind sack to pull out a wind, it was notice, the wind of the emotions. And one of the biggest things about our emotions that keep us from being fully present to our gratitude or our grateful hearts is resentment. And I'm having a little resentment. And when I have a little resentment, I have to take it back to, what is this saying about me? What is this saying about me? And one of the things this year was I decided to start this gratitude challenge because there were some places where emotionally I still get caught up in the treadmill, and especially that happens a lot at work when you're working with other people and people who don't do what you want them to do, hence a resentment. And resentment stems from the Latin word refeel. And if you're in AA, many people know what doing an inventory is, what happens when you look at your own resentments and then find your own part in that resentment, which is always the thing that will shift that resentment, is once you know your own part. Now, there's so many things you could be resentful for, and you could say, oh, I have no part in this. Like, say if you're struggling with a disease, how did I cause this disease? Or if you've been molested, how possibly could I be responsible for being molested? Or if I lost my job, what did I do? I showed up, I was a good employee, all of these things. But there is a part of it for all of us in each of these. And one of these things we can look at saying, okay, where was I self-seeking? Well, sometimes the self-seeking could be so esoteric that you can't even grasp it, like that you were trying to control your destiny. And I did that once. I was working at a country club. I was trying to control my destiny when really my job was to be a messenger and to be a healer. And I wanted to stay in the country club with my feet up on the nice mahogany desk. And meanwhile, it wasn't where I was supposed to go. So I was holding it and trying to control it. And meanwhile, I'll never forget when Luz Clara came running through the country club with me. Renee, what are you doing in this place? They're not spiritual. They're not your people. And it took me several years to understand that I was self-seeking because I was trying to control the flow of cash into my life in order to get for self. Whatever that getting for self was, I was trying to do it. So this idea of releasing a resentment, even if it's that you've got an illness you don't know how to deal with, is about finding what it has brought to you in the gifts. And so notice comes because this is an emotional thing, an emotional string that keeps us connected to this refeeling and rehashing at night, and then we take it forward into the day. So how can we be totally present when we keep recycling our emotions? Today, I want to do I'm going to call and notice the wind from the south, who's a gentle, loving, puts light on things, wind, to help us see what is hiding in there, what resentment needs to be brought into the light so that we can release it, so we can have more joy in our hearts. All right, so to do this meditation, I invite you to get yourself comfortable, and that might be sitting, standing, lying down, whatever works for you. And as all of our meditations, I want you to begin by taking 3 deep wind breaths in. And a deep wind breath in consists of bringing in that wind that has been traveling around the world, connecting with the love of everybody else, and bringing it in consciously into your body, all the way down to your pelvic, seeing it float all the way down into the earth to the count of 10. Okay? And you can do that, you know, you can breathe in through your nose, in through your mouth. Let's not get full of semantics here, because I just want you to learn to start to breathe, and then we can refine that with nose breathing and everything else. Okay, so take 3 deep wind cleansing breaths in. And hold it for the count of 10. And release to the count of 10. And as you're breathing out, know that your wind breath is connecting you to the love that's circling the world. Now, if you want to choose to get your wind breath connected to some hate and some other things, go right ahead. But I want to connect mine with the love breath so that we have more and more of that floating around. And keep breathing that in. And if you haven't already, take that 3rd and final breath in. And remember, when you're breathing in, and you can breathe in through your nose, it's easier to keep a smile on your face when you're breathing in through your nose, and then hold it. And release. I'm going to invite notice in. So close your eyes gently and do a body scan and see how just by taking 3 conscious breaths in, you're more connected. You're more planted on the earth. You're more connected to everything. And if you're not having that feeling this time, maybe you will the next time or the time after that. This requires a little bit of faith that with practice, you're going to have more joy and more gratitude in your life. Keep breathing those deep breaths in, and we're going to call to notice, and let me have notice guide you through your body. Notice, 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 come to us today. And the next time I blow the wind whistle, I want you to see notice going up through the earth, up through your feet, all the way through your body, and seeing where there's any resistance in your body. And for me, there's resistance in my lower abdomen. And what I want to do is I'm going to ask, what is that resistance? What is that resentment? What is that thing I'm feeling that's keeping me from abundantly being in my joy today? And that might be at your shoulder, your elbow, your knee, someplace on your body. So identify something, and if you don't have it, just pick a chronic place. And let's ask Notice to go in there and find out what that is that we're holding, that's keeping us from our joy. What immediately came to me was that I'm really feeling a little, I don't know why I'm holding it down here, but I'm feeling a little sad that somebody I used to think was a friend at work, a couple people actually, just don't seem to have a connection anymore. And that could be because I'm working from home, which is something that I love. So I'm not quite sure, but I'm going to work with that. And I don't know what yours is, but work with it. Like Melissa says, be curious with it. So we're going to ask Notice to remove that. Whatever it is, we're going to just ask that resistance be removed. And Notice is the wind of the summer, the midday sun. So it puts light on something, and it may take a day, it may take an hour, it may take a minute to know what that was. But we're going to ask Notice, give us a new feeling, give us a feeling of thankfulness, give us a feeling of gratitude in that particular location. For me, it's my stomach, so that I know what that thankfulness of that, so I can feel thankful for whatever this emotional lesson is about change in situations, okay? And find out what that feeling is. See what feeling comes to you first. Don't think about it, but what do you feel? What I love about this wind work is that it's so expedient. It's almost like as soon as you call up the wind comes in and takes care of these things. And what happened for me immediately was that this heat radiated out, and it was this feeling of heat and expansion. And as we all know, sometimes you have to shut one door in order for another door to open, and that might be, for losing connections and not feeling so connected to whatever that negative spin was with that. Well, as you go forward in this gratitude challenge and in your own life, know that these resentments are something that you refeel, and if you're hashing it around or you're feeling it in your body over and over again, there's clearly a gift there. And come back to this meditation. Maybe I can shorten the meditation so you don't have to go through all of the story, but maybe you need the whole story. And I'm Renee, I'm the Practical Shaman, and this is the Gratitude Challenge, 30 Days of Gratitude, and I have such a grateful and thankful heart that you're all here taking this challenge with me, because there is strength in numbers. Have a wonderful day.